Coach, it's been not a bad run because you are getting points from these games. So
Be careful, be careful.
Four draws. Four draws. Are you feeling good about that, or is it a good trend that at the very least you're getting point, or is there some frustration that these aren't turning into wins?
Yeah, I think after the DC United game, the frustration was much bigger than the last game now in Philly, because for me the performance was good in Philly, and a lot of good moments, a lot of good situations, and I think we had the chance to get these 3 points on the road, and so this was different feeling, especially like after DC United game. So we know about the statistics, about a lot of draws in our regular season now, but at the end we have to look of our performance, of our quality match every weekend, and this is what we have to prepare now for Saturday, and the main goal is to get 3 points for sure.
Don Cornell has played a few matches as a starter. How do you feel? It's really hard for someone like him to get thrown right into the first team, but how do you think he's reacted to that?
Great. It's a great progress with him since the first day in our preseason, and good development. And so this is now the result that he's now in the starting lineup for sure, because of the situation with Frankie Amaya. But now he's in our starting lineup, and he will also start on Saturday.
So Colorado is a team that is scoring a lot of goals of late.
Yeah.
Kind of similar-ish point total to you guys. What's something that you're looking at to cut off when it comes to their offense on Saturday?
Very clear structure, how they play, how they defend in their structure, very aggressive, very intensive as well, how they want to play, and especially then after winning ball, clear direction to the goal. So it's for me, it's a good team, very good team, great coach. So he worked here as an assistant coach with Jesse March, and then head coach. So great to see him now at first time in my life, and but the situation is clear. We want to win, and for sure to get these 3 points.
Next, we go to Daniel Feuerstein on Zoom.
Good afternoon, Sandro. Hope you're doing well. Colorado will be without Jordy Mihalovic. Obviously, you'll be without John Tolkin because of the Olympics that's coming up. Do you feel maybe that's an advantage for you because it's a key cog for Colorado against you guys?
Yeah, Mihalovic is a good player, and we have seen him now a lot of times in the games. But yeah, the situation is clear. So they missed one player because of the Olympics. We missed one player. We missed also Emil Forsberg, and the situation is clear. But for me, this is what I mentioned before. Is it's a very good team, clear structure, clear direction to the goal with a lot of good quality.
Next, go to Gary on Zoom.
Good afternoon, Coach. Looks like there's going to be a stretch of games. You guys are going to be playing 3 games in 7 days. With squad rotation, being pretty much prevalent, how's the team looking to the challenge for this stretch of games up ahead?
Yeah, but this is the situation now. So, and it's clear situation now, and we're only looking now for the first game on Saturday in Colorado, and not to think about how can the starting lineup be in the second game, in the home game against Montreal. So our main focus is now only to play the first game in this week, and it's a tough week. We know that with these 3 games, midweek Montreal, then Cincinnati on Saturday. But we don't plan now a rotation or something like that. So the main focus is now for Saturday, and then we have to discuss on Sunday what can be the best solution for us against Montreal. But first of all, is the main target is only to have the focus, the intensity for Saturday.
We'll go back to Dan on Zoom.
Sandro, if I can ask you this, you've had your rainy days at Red Bull Arena. You've had extreme heat at Red Bull Arena. You've had to handle.
So you will ask now this question because I'm the reason of this weather, or what?
No.
Okay.
I will never go that far. I promise you that.
But you start this question like that, so okay.
But this will be the first time you'll be playing a match or managing a match in altitude. What is that kind of like thrown at you kind of differently outside of the weather?
Yeah, we talked today in the morning about this topic with our performance coaches and then also with our players about that. And I don't know, to be honest, I don't know. I had some preseason friendly games with these circumstances, but at the end, it's not the same like a physical regular game in a season. So we will see, and I think we have to push each other. We have to show the best mentality. Maybe when you feel in some moments a little bit tired, then you have to push each other and then to overcome the resistance. I think this is a main part for Saturday in our mentality, and for sure we need our principles, we need our tactical structure formation, but I think this is the main part then to push each other, to help each other in these moments, to communicate. So this will be important for Saturday.
Next we'll go to Joe Pantorno on Zoom.
Good afternoon, Sandro. Over the last 6 weeks or so, you've had time where you've had to field teams without Lewis Morgan and Emil Forsberg and Carlos Coronel. Frankie Maya has been transferred. Obviously, now you're looking at a long-term absence with Emil. John Tolkien's gone for the Olympics. Do you recall maybe a stretch in your career where you've had this maybe drastic of a roster shuffle, and how challenging
For sure.
has it been?
For sure, I had this experience as well in some clubs, and this is the situation. So, and for me, the main part is it's not the best situation actually, because when you have some players, some important players, or each player is injured, it's not the best, because you want to have every player every day on the training field. But this is a part sometimes in the season, and now we have these players now which they are injured. But at the end, we have to find solutions. This is our focus, and this is our job then also to find the solutions in our tactical formation, in our solution, in our structure, in our principles, how we want to defend, how we want to create chances, and to be positive with the whole energy. This is how we want to lead, and especially then me as a head coach, how I want to lead the team, and not to be negative about the situation. So I would say the last weeks, the team made it very well in the games, in every training session. So they keep the focus, they keep the energy, and we need this. We need this now in these 3 games, and it's a tough week now. These 3 games, then we have another competition with the Leagues Cup. But now we have the starting point on Saturday in these last 3 games, and And the team, the attitude of the team, the behavior is very good.
Go back to Anthony.
Coach, so Coronel comes back. It looks like he didn't miss a beat in that game against Philly.
Who?
Carlos Coronel.
Yeah.
But he didn't play much in the international break. Did you have any conversations with him about how to keep sharp during that, or is that just something that he was able to do?
Yeah, for sure. We had immediately, directly when he came here in our facility, we had then a conversation. How was the feeling now with the national team, because he didn't play in the Copa America. So, but his feeling was very well, and then also directly good performance in the training session, and so that gives me as head coach the confidence then also, and he showed then his quality directly in the first game now in Philly, and this is what we need, especially. A very good goalkeeper with Carlos on Saturday, and with Ryan on the bench to push him. This is what we need, this competition.
Next we go to Christian on Zoom.
Hi, good afternoon, Coach. Thank you for your time. Obviously, Wiki has been filling in for Forsberg. What is your overall assessment on that, and do you see him continuing filling that role as a creative midfielder on the left?
Yeah, it's a creative midfielder. This is what you said. I agree with your opinion, and so his development at the beginning, he made big steps to create good moments with his left foot, and so we can improve something for sure in his behavior, not to use too many touches in some moments. I think this is individual what we can improve with him. But with his age now, he's physically in a very good spot, and it's good. It's good to see him now in every training session, and we will see then also what happened on Saturday.
Everyone, we have time for 2 more questions with Coach. First, we'll go to Voss, and then we'll finish up with Dan. Voss, you have the floor on Zoom. We'll go to Dan first instead, and then we'll come back to Voss. Dan, you have the floor.
I will not ask you about Hale this time, I promise.
Okay,
but
okay,
anyway,
Great.
you know, ever since Andreas Reyes has had that red card in Chicago for that situation you had the talking to with him, he's really improved his play. Not so much his defense, but how he has controlled his emotions and how he has not reacted to anything negative. What do you say about Andreas for how he has done so well so far whenever you used him?
But he has to do this for long term. Huh? So the
of course.
Yeah, the Chicago game, I don't know, was 3 months ago. So then he was injured, but in Philly he played very well. And we need his strengths with his physical spot and to be aggressive in the duels, to win the headers, all these situations. This is important for us, for sure. We need emotions as well in the game, but to control these emotions, this is important. And but this is what we have to expect, to be honest, and not that we talk about too much about, oh, that's great, because this is normal, to be honest, every week, to control the emotions, and but to play physical, to play with emotions, with the energy, but to control these situations without playing a red card.
And we'll finish up with Bob.
How's it going, Coach? Thank you for the time. Just had a quick question on regards to 2 familiar faces that we've seen on the bench. One of them being Julian Hall, who was named to the MLS Next Pro Team of the Week with the 2 goals this past weekend, and the other on Bento Estrella. Can you see possibly Bento getting some game minutes with Forsberg being out? And what are your thoughts on Julian's kind of performances with the second team?
Yeah, Bento is not... Yeah, and Bento is not now clear player like Emil Forsberg, for example. He's more 6th position, and he trained with us, and he will sit on the bench for sure on Saturday. So we will see what happened then to get some minutes, but his progress, his development is good. And we have seen this in the last 2 games from the second team as well, then on the 6th position. And Julian Hall scored 2 times, two goals. That's good. This is necessary also for a striker, then especially for a young striker in the second team to score in these moments. And it was a good performance, and this is normal for each young player, that we have also some topics which we have to improve. And but in this game it was good. I would say it was good. Was not the best performance now, but with these 2 goals was good. But we have to improve something in his skills.